What's going on, guys?
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode. Um, oh wait, here we go. I have to supposed to do something here. So, no one saw that, but fortunately, back from the arduous task of creating an entire new human being, we have our very own, the greatest co-host to the stream ever. Have a round of applause. Gard. Autumn is back, everyone.
Hey guys.
Super exciting.
Yeah, I missed everyone. Viral
Exciting.
Beats, Catherine, Angry Photo Guy, Paul. What is up, you guys?
Uh, um, so let us welcome back Autumn. It's I know y'all had to struggle through having me here. Um,
Oh, I'm
you
sure it
know,
was not a struggle. I'm sure it was dope. I wanted to look back at the streams, but that sleep deprivation though.
strong. It was a struggle for me. That's the point. It was very
Oh,
difficult, but you know what? We haven't missed a beat. So Autumn, it is what?
I'm back, man. Yeah.
I think it's time for the question of the day.
Let's go. Why do new hardware synths excite you? Why do new hardware synths excite you, you guys?
Yeah.
I almost forgot how to do the question of the day. It's only been four
Um,
weeks.
you know, I asked this question because it's kind of part of the topic of the week. It's the main news since I guess Moog is dropping a new synthesizer, and
Yeah.
I just was like thinking. I mean, Matt Z put it on. Did Matt Z? Matt, we talked about something, but I was just thinking. What? Why does it excite you? Because a new Moog, I hate to say this, a new Moog to me, outside of the subharmonicon, just equals an old Moog, right?
Mm.
Just a continual iteration. So I'm just kind of thinking, you know, I want to know from like Autumn, you're the most exciting hardware synthesizer for you outside of the Mini Nova. What was it, if you can remember it?
Okay, yeah. The micro freak, man. And
Mm,
it's not even like a crazy big thing, right? And it was just because it was so simple. Like it was a tiny. I really liked the sounds. You know, one thing that did hype me up for it, I'm not gonna lie, that freaking ad, that video ad where it had like the spaceships and everything.
Arturia does good ads.
Did that, like, I usually don't care too much for ads, but that ad, I'm not gonna lie, it did its job. But yeah, the micro freak definitely, the sounds, just like the how simple and tiny it is, could definitely picture myself using it. Chat, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what are y'all thinking? I'm actually attempting to talk to Instagram too right now, so
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm dropping
So,
in a little IG right now.
all right,
Um,
well, while you're dropping into the IG, we
man,
got, okay, Poly Evolver is still one of my faves, unique and wild.
totally feel
Nice.
that. Totally feel that. Um,
Ooh, Viral Beats says, yeah, the micro freak, micro freak is great fun.
yeah, I think it's hard for me because I don't know. The more stuff, I don't. Cynical me, whatever. But just the more stuff, it goes on and on and on, and you get a little bit overwhelmed with, you know, how much stuff feels samey, right? Polyevolver at the time was so sort of ahead of its time, right? Nancy says Iridium in Matriarch. I mean, I think Iridium at the time was like a big thing, coming off of like the Waldorf Quantum, and if you didn't need that kind of a big old keyboard, it was really good to have a little compact thing. Um, let's see. Overlander says new Moog hardware, not spatial computing software. So stoked, it makes me hopeful. You know, I'm hopeful, but I guess is this the technical first like Moog release in their new like in
Oh
music?
yeah, since in music.
I know Catherine
Hmm.
said I think it's a China synth now, or it's Taiwan. That's where they make these, but we'll see.
Okay.
I'm really interested to see the price when it comes out because if it's exactly the same price as everything that was made in their factory in
Nashville.
or
Was it
not
Nashville?
Nashville, someone's gonna say it. Ash Nashville, Asheville. Not Nashville, Tennessee, Asheville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're pretty close. Um, but yeah, the we'll see. We'll see. Andrew Huang has one. I haven't talked to Andrew, but
Oh yeah, I saw he put a leak. That's I mean that's what people are calling it, a leak.
yeah, I mean, clearly he was totally told to do that. I'm kind of
Of
interested in
course.
why he I mean, it's not that I'm saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's interesting that Moog dropped one on him as opposed to like any other person, you know? Like I'd like to know the thought process behind. Obviously Andrew Hong is the most famous synth based musician YouTube person, right? Like obviously
Right.
by so far he is the person, but I'm just interested in like um I don't
Like
know.
other than the business aspect of it is what you're saying? Like as the reason
I would like
or
Moog is so I feel like I have a different opinion on Moog now. Not I hope they're not watching. Um but Moog is like different than they used to be. Um
just so you know, when you say I hope they're not watching, that's like you're jinxing it. They're gonna be watching it. Everybody and their mom's gonna be watching.
uh
You never know, man.
well, okay. I mean, I guess it's out there. My thing is, you know, I think Moog is there, you know.
That hesitation after I said
I
that.
like them. Good company. To be fair, Moog was likely getting some of their PCBs done in Taiwan before the sale. I mean, also true.
Mhm.
I think they were assembled in America. There was like this thing of like tiers. So like the cheaper you got, the more stuff that was done outside of the country, and the more expensive they got, the more everything was done inside the country. Not to say that makes it better or worse. It's just I think it's a fact of what they decided to do. Right? They can I guess spend more on a Moog One than you know a Mother 32 or something. So
Right.
you know.
Totally.
Um, so here
Hmm.
we go. I'm going to quickly discuss the video on the old or the video on the old channel. The video on the other.
Yes. Dude,
Um,
it's done so well. Oh my
so
gosh.
I dropped the old magazines video. If you didn't watch it, I don't know.
You
You
gotta
can.
watch it, y'all. It's so
Um,
good.
but I will say, and I'm making this statement because I don't want to be a person who like totally like ignores people, but based on my past of being sort of I don't know 50-50 about our comments good, our comments not good, the larger you get as a content
Mm.
creator, people always just constantly say don't read any comments, right? I don't think that's the right way, but I'll just say this. I read some comments and they were all very positive in the first little bit. And after that, I don't know what has happened in the comment section. So I'm just like letting y'all know that if I don't respond to you, it's not personal. There was a lot of comments. Um, but I'm just saying, you know, strategy here. Strategy here.
Just go watch it, y'all. Check it out.
Something took your place last week. So
Nice.
congrats
Thank
on
you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah.
Parenthood
Um,
is cool.
I know. The baby is offline right now.
Yeah.
Um, so thanks, Overlander. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So let's get into the thing that we do, which
Oh
is
yeah, around the weebs. Yeah, at least this was one thing that I remembered that we do.
Never forget this.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fun. You see a lot of videos, find a lot of talented folks.
So, first thing on Around the Web. Oh, it's from my friends, which I consider my friends. Tefty and Means.
Ooh, okay.
A little NPC hardware jam with some vocals.
Oh, nice. I can already tell this is gonna be good.
Yeah, Tefty and his wife are great. So let's check it out. Hopefully no ads. 3, 2, 1, no ads. Whatever. I'm gonna fix this next. I'm gonna sign into my old account. Okay. Like,
The lights, man.
I saw you coming from the fire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name. Reach for me, you are my desire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name. I saw you coming from the fire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name. Reach for me, you're my desire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name. I saw you coming from the fire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name. Reach for me, you are my desire. I hear you calling my name, calling my name.
oh yeah, it's so good.
Same.
Wow.
Overlander, same. Yeah, dude, that was amazing. So good. And they're using the best DAW ever, Ableton Live. Yep, nobody disagrees. Cool. Cool processing of the vocals too. Yes, yes, that was so dope. What was that? Kind of sounded like a, I don't know, like what
I
was that
mean, I
processing?
don't know. I'm wondering if they did like a multi-track in the background. I don't know exactly what was going on, but I will say, um, I saw the Behringer Model D, and I know how it is like so polarizing that like people use a Behringer Model D or whatever. If you didn't tell me it was a Model D, and I guess this goes into the whole like idea people have about things. If you didn't show that it was a Model D, I mean, I would never know. I would. It sounded great. It sounded super juicy. The bass sounded really deep. Like when the bass came in, I was like, oh, that's a good bass.
Yes.
And
Oh
it's
my
like, I don't
gosh.
know. It gets me like so annoyed with like the whole fighting over names and the the back and forth about
No, totally.
you
It
know
is what it is.
or whatever. But it sounded so good. Julian, what's going on? Welcome
Hey,
our other
Julian.
co-host from last week.
Howdy.
Some you're talking about the Behringer, right? The Model D. Um,
Oh no, not the B word.
well, I
Oh
said it.
my
Now
gosh.
it's in the algorithm. Also, quick thing. I'm never going. Oh, never mind. He wasn't talking about the Behringer. He's gonna explain. The sequential. Yeah, sequential is great. The Pro 3. Um, I will say, last week, Autumn, I talked about the Access um, V word,
Mm.
VIRUS.
Yes.
Put this stuff in the title of the video. Oh my goodness. YouTube killed that video so fast. Um, and it was so crazy. The things attached to it, because you can see in your analytics, like the
Right.
videos that it's suggesting against it, all heavy, like conspiracy theory,
Oh my
heavy,
gosh.
like weird, like it was so crazy. So I want to do a that
That video again, but it's just like how do you do it without like putting the actual name on it? Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
It was so crazy. I never saw a video act like that before, but it literally just sent it to like the conspiracy theory realm, and then it
That's
just like
so
shattered.
annoying. It's like YouTube can we be better with this stuff? Like, dude.
So
Thanks, Julian.
we're not gonna do it. Um,
Conspiracy filter. Oh my gosh, conspiracy filter. I know, right?
yeah,
Gracias, Julian. Gracias.
maybe I'll try that synthetic VIRUSTI. You know,
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure something out. Yeah, there's some words that just trigger a certain crazy in the algorithm.
yeah, I didn't like. Oh no, I didn't like that. Great idea for a shirt, actually.
Oh
And
my
wings. Can we do this?
goodness. Can
Hey
you
guys,
imagine, dude, can you imagine like
one
somebody
in the
wearing
chat.
that?
Plus one in the chat if I should create make analog great again ads in the chat.
See
Yes.
the only issue with that is like people either will like people will either think it's super great, they'll love it, or people will associate you with a certain
I
someone.
don't know. I don't know. It seems dangerous.
It does.
Seems dangerous. Peter, what's up, Peter? By the way, Peter, I do have a video, but it's not fully on the Polybrute. It's on all of the Arturia synthesizers like released in the last like 10 years. I got all of them for one video. So that's from last January. But I mean, I love the um I love the hands-on of the Polybrute. That's the best part, the hands-on the Polybrute. Love it.
Nice, nice.
Um so next on Around the Web. Oh yeah, next on Around the Web is a Seek track performance. I have no idea. I've never seen ignore
Really quick,
what's that?
Analog Wings said Kanye might retweet your shirt. That make analog great again. Love that.
I mean, I'm not I'll be honest. I don't know what's going on with Kanye. I always hold out hope that but I don't know what's going on with any celeb nowadays. It just all feels like this one big It just feels like a big game. I don't know.
Multi-asset subscription plans allow access.
I don't know if you ever feel like that, Autumn, but it just feels like
Yeah.
a weird game.
Yeah, dude. I recently deleted Twitter. I'll see how that goes. Just kind of stay away from like you feel like you get bombarded with stuff that you didn't sign up for on Twitter because that happens to me all the time.
It's a weird. Wow, so many ads on this. I've never seen this. This. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, we'll see how this goes. But Twitter.
I mean, I'll get it back. It's just I'm taking a break.
My blocks word list is so long.
Oh, that's what I need to do.
Saves you. But yeah, someone talked to me about the blocked word or the muted words list a long time ago.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, I block things that are even like normal things.
Like
you
virus.
know, like I literally have to block like words like gender. Like no one is really talking about on Twitter something that is not polarized, you know? Like
Yeah.
I've never said the word gender in my regular life until whatever, but it just feels like you have to block even like fringe words that could just that are going to lead down something. It's really
going to lead to some people just like arguing in like a whole thread of just like people. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's weird. The whole dictionary.
The whole dictionary.
So Seek Track. We'll see how this goes. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, phew! Thank goodness there's a 1080. I thought it was like on 360.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's all good.
I was like, this old YouTube here, like somebody like just like camera bopping, everything's out of focus, like 2015 YouTube demo video.
True.
Turning the volume down. No, I'm gonna mute it. I don't care. So I just really want a honest like opinion. I think it's I'm gonna read what Synthetic says. Also, bye, Julian. Synthetic says Seek Track is kind of weird. Not that interesting after playing with it at NAMM. Has potential, but not that fun. I really liked the visualizer, but I think when you're buying something like this, the visualizer is like probably the gimmick piece. So I felt really weird about being so attracted to like the gimmick piece of Seek Track. I think it is fun in concept. Catherine, Catherine is a fan of this. You said sounds good. I want to know, Autumn and Catherine, what do you think, Autumn? First off, since
yeah, I kind of agree with you with the being attracted to like the gimmicky part. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's cool. I like that it's tiny, small, and I agree with Catherine. Good sounds for sure. But I don't know. I don't know where it would, and this is personal opinion, you guys. Obviously, you're allowed to like what you like, but I don't know where it would fit in my workflow. Like, I feel like I have something that's like a similar, you know?
Yeah, I like the black now. I think initially I liked the orange and gray, but I do like these colors. These like pastel, like this pastel purple and the pastel like uh blue and stuff. I like these like turquoise almost. I like that color.
Oh yeah, the design itself is awesome.
Yeah.
That's actually like that's the first thing that would attract me to this piece is just like the overall design, and it looks pretty small too.
It
Like the shape kind of reminds me of like the organelle.
it's funny. It seems like it's small.
Oh, it's not that small, is it?
Well, I feel like it's right in the middle of probably what you think, right? Like it's not
Right.
that small, but it's also not as long. Oh, whoa, low. Good lord. Um but it's just not as big. It's also not as wide, but then it's just kind of I don't know. Um I think it's something you really have to try out. I actually was gonna go to Perfect Circuit. I might go to Perfect Circuit again to get a longer hands-on with it just to mess with it, but uh Catherine says Seek Track has a fun gimmick, but inside the hood this thing is somehow running two AWM2 instances, which are like Yamaha's synthesizer engine.
Hmm.
It's got so much raw power for people unafraid of clean modern synth sounds. And I think that that's like um oh, also I feel like it's appropriate size to not feel like it's a toy, but still decently portable with knobs and buttons, big enough to be gig appropriate. I will say this, I think that they did make it very uh good for the size. I don't know how to say it, but like they made it the right the right dimensions for I think their intended audience, right? Like they didn't go too
Hmm.
small because I feel like with the teenage engineering stuff, it is very very small, especially like the OPZ. That is like really small.
Right. It's
It's like smaller than you
thin.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more substantial and mm, I guess if the visualizer is the gimmick, and like Catherine says, it is very powerful, I'm still just constantly looking for the demo that's going to put me on board with it. Like I don't, obviously, I'm not getting it, but I'm just saying, like, as a piece, I think, say, like Jeremy put me onto the Teenage Engineering OP1. Like that, I was like, oh, he's doing such great stuff. Same with the Digitact. Even though
Right.
I didn't like it necessarily, I'm like, oh, there's something great in there. Uh,
Yeah. I mean that just goes to show you like the importance of like good demos and potentially, if there is someone out there that's putting out videos that makes great demos,
yes.
shoot them shoot them one of these, and it really can make the difference of just like convincing someone whether they want to pull the trigger on it or not. Damn, that is a lot of ads.
I mean, the channel I don't think is even monetized. The channel only has like 500 subs. So I mean, you know, um,
The ads has like tripled, quadrupled since I've been gone.
look, made the old whatever. I'm not even talking about it. But we are going to talk about our first topic of the day, which, doesn't have any media attached, but it is what I think is being officially called now the Moog Mirror. Moog Mirror. I don't know where they got the name Mirror from, but this is it from the thumbnail. The Moog Mirror it was. I don't even know if it was supposed to be teased. I don't know what it was doing at the Super Bowl being performed with. I don't. It seems so like. Does anyone else think that seems like the ultimate like plant, like the literal biggest TV show in the entire world?
Yeah.
When you use a brand new synthesizer.
That had to have been like thoughtful, like a thoughtful thing, right?
I just don't see
Right?
how it could be done without being, you know, like an official, like, hey, here's a thing,
Like make
you
sure
know.
you get a shot of this.
Yeah, definitely a product placement. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's why sometimes it kind of makes me question everything. Where like, you know, I'm not watching. I hate to say this, but I'm not watching the Super Bowl at all thinking about a synthesizer leak. It just seems so misplaced.
Right. But I mean that like something said, it's product placement. I mean that's legitimately a marketing thing where you kind of place it's an ad but people don't realize it's an ad. It's like when you see a Coke bottle in a movie, something like
Yeah.
that. It's not meant to be an ad, but it is meant to drive awareness to a certain product without being super in your face about it. I just don't see how this couldn't have been a thoughtful thing. And I mean, kudos because it worked. People are talking about it.
I mean, yeah, um Overlander said it was a try, but very obscure for a plant. Like Jack Dorsey on screen with Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah, it's you know, Church of Living scripted just like the game. I knew Kansas City was gonna win the whole time. I knew Taylor Swift was gonna win. You know, it was there was no way it wasn't gonna happen that way. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, it did work. And I think also the reason it's worked is because even if you know, other people didn't notice it while they were watching the Super Bowl because of social media. I mean, I didn't watch the Super Bowl and I only knew about this because of social media, you know? So, yeah, kudos.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering where it sort of came from. Like, okay, I never saw a shot like this. Like, I guess this shot though, this thing here, like
Mhm.
this thing is clearly after the game was like after they're cleaning up or doing something, you know? Like this is not from a television broadcast.
Oh, gotcha. See, I wouldn't have known that not watching it.
Well, like all these random people on the field. Like either this was the cleanup right after the halftime show or something.
True.
Um,
So that had to have been like for sure something very like, you know, planned out.
it just seems so weird. Like I'm looking at this um I mean what okay, I mean try to be sort of more like try to forget that this is a Moog chat. Just try to like wipe that from your mind. Would you assume this was a brand new synthesizer? Like, would you? I would think this is my personal opinion. At a event like the Super Bowl, I would think it's just a prop. You wanted something that looked good on
Mhm.
television, so you had someone mock up a prop, and then you just put it on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
like they're not actually playing it. It's a backing track type thing.
yeah, it's just a thing. It's just like, oh, here's a colorful prop that looks like a keyboard. So just put it up there and it will look
Yeah.
good as
It's
part of the whole thing.
part of the set design. Yeah.
It's a set design thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a prop. But um yeah, Andrew's leak was apparently approved by the company was more strange. I yeah. So anyway, regardless, this is apparently a new thing. I don't who knows when it's going to be announced, but if they're already dropping gems, it's sort of probably already I mean, if he has one and it looks like it's a full thing, I guess it's either in what do you call that? Beta, or he's testing it, or he's already doing the whole production of a video.
Mm.
But just like I think the speculation is, let's see, someone said it was like 8 voices. I saw something. Maybe somebody can put in the chat what it was, but like I saw someone say, "Oh, here it is." Reports from the ether, sorry, suggests that it will be called the Moog Mirror and it will have 8 voices based on the matriarch architecture. Like the matriarch Autumn, I guess you probably know, but it is a 4 voice synthesizer right now. Like 8 voices, like is this changing anyone's life? Put a one in the chat if this is like changing your life, to be honest.
Oh man. Okay. Is this changing anyone's life? Is anyone intrigued by this too? Because it's like
Yeah.
it's you know it's like you said it's the first new thing since the whole in music stuff went down. I'm personally excited to see the video that Andrew comes out with.
Oh, of course, it's gonna be super good.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And again, it's one of those things where if you have the right person doing the demo, a lot of people will pay attention. 16 voices are.
Um, her who can shred is getting blasted on social media because the Super Bowl requires pantomiming. Was that not her playing? Did you watch the halftime show, Autumn?
I didn't. I should. I need to. I saw clips of it, with like Usher.
I thought that was the coolest part. Oh, you watching the Usher take his shirt off part? Okay, I
Oh
guess.
no, I didn't even know that was a thing. I saw like a couple of clips. Usher take his shirt off. But
Um,
what'd you think of it? What'd you think of the halftime show?
I
It was,
think it was really good.
yeah.
I sort of am still constantly like blown away by the fact that the musical artists don't get paid.
Oh yeah, it's just like a free marketing for them, huh? Because they're getting so much airtime and eyeballs, but it is crazy that they don't get paid. Like, can they get paid something? Because that's a lot of work preparation,
Yeah,
right?
I don't get it.
I don't know, but it must pay off afterwards. Like it has to.
Okay,
Like did you see what happened with Kanye West's ad?
I saw it after the fact. I think it only played in certain markets, but I guess it cost
Oh.
like $7 million for him to drop the ad. But I was sort of like,
He spent $0 on the actual budget for filming the ad. He literally just filmed the ad on his phone. I don't know if you guys all saw it, but essentially he generated a ton of sales. Like even just like an ad, like legit zero budget, doing it on his phone, telling people to go buy his Yeezys.
yeah, like I think it like doubled the sales or whatever.
It was like it was apparently like very successful ad campaign. So based on that, I imagine that something similar has to happen with these artists that agree to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I I just wonder like what are the calls like being made? Like is Moog like hooked up with I forgot who the person was who was playing the Moog. I don't know if it says in the article, but whoever the keyboardist was, maybe they're like a Moog artist. I'm wondering if they called Moog and said, "Hey, I'm going to play in the Super Bowl. Like, do you want to be part of it?" Like I just wonder all the sort of behind the scenes
Oh
stuff.
yeah, how it went down.
Yeah. I like the colors. I will say that.
I
I
love the colors, yeah.
I had sort of a annoyance with the look of the grandmother.
Mhm.
This looks
It looks more modern.
this looks a little this looks fairly sleek. The
Mhm.
colors of the blue and the oranges and stuff is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Um that said, just another 8 voice. If this is another 8 voice synthesizer from Moog with a 24 decibel ladder filter, I'm gonna be like, please no, not again. Like I cannot like poor Millie Vanilli. uh oh, what's up, John? What's going on? What's going on? The just I don't know. What do you guys think? Just an 8 voice ladder filter synthesizer. There's so many of those. Well, actually, there aren't a ton of those on the market now that I think about it. 8 voices is a little more than typical things.
Mhm.
Yeah, because the Polybrute's 6. But I'm just saying, an 8 voice low pass filter synthesizer from Moog, just because they haven't had one in a while, that doesn't mean that it's groundbreaking or like fair, like more interesting, in my opinion. You know?
Right, totally. And maybe they're just trying to do I don't know. Like have you ever heard that phase like, "Oh, if it isn't broken, don't fix it." Like they're just trying to keep doing what like they've already done
Yeah.
before and then just reach a bigger audience with like, giving it to influencers. I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah, I
just
guess
speculating.
I have to like sort of I have to always level set myself because I know that people come in this at all different levels.
Mhm.
At the very beginner, at the very, and so just because I've had enough Moogs, I could been choking on Moog ladder filter things for years now.
Yeah.
And so I'm bored of it. Doesn't mean that I speak for everybody or that my experience by just having a bunch equals, like, and not everyone's sick of it. I'm only sick of it because I've done it over and over and I want something different because I've had so many. But
Right.
like, yeah, I sometimes always forget to step outside of myself and see that like this thing is this thing could be the coolest thing in the world to someone. Just like when the Prophet 8 came out. This is why I guess when the Prophet 08 came out, there were probably so many people from the 80s who were like, dude, I had so many of these synthesizers. Like, who cares? A Prophet 08 is just going back to the 80s.
Right. And
So,
then you have that new audience that maybe has never heard of it before. And maybe it is somebody like Andrew that reaches that audience, that new audience, that younger audience, and they get into it and they're like, wow, this is like mind-blowing, even though it's something that, like you said, people that are familiar with it have probably seen before.
yeah. Say So says, how much do you think it'll cost? I am gonna say it's got to be more than the Matriarch. The Matriarch, I think, is like 2,500. It's got to be less than a Moog One. Moog Ones start at, I believe, $7,000. If this is an 8-voice Moog ladder synthesizer for $4,000, you can count me out. Count me out. I mean, not that I would be counted in at any price because I don't want to be counted at any price. I'm just saying, I'm just like, unless it's a bizarre, like when the Moog vocoder came out, I get that that's $5,000, but not everyone makes vocoders like that. So I
Right.
wanted to try because it's so niche. But just another super expensive thing. It's why I didn't like. I think Sequential asked about me taking a look at the OBX8. I'm just like, how am I supposed to like keep a channel that relates to anybody if I'm just doing all these like collector's items? Like, I just don't want to do.
Right. That I mean, that does make sense. Yeah. Um.
People are guessing lower. I mean, Angry Photo
Yeah.
got 2250. Madsy saying 28. I just can't. If it's 20, I'll say if it's 2250. Wow, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be 5.
Dang,
4 or
that's
5.
intense, man. That is intense. That is you're getting at a very like kind of niche audience at that point,
Yeah.
You're not looking at that point. I imagine they're not looking at a lot of volume. They're just looking for that very specific target audience.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see about. I mean, y'all will see about this. I won't see about this, but y'all are gonna see about this. Oh, next,
Yeah.
the Ringer Bringer.
Ringer Bringer.
Have you cared about this at all or looked at this at all?
I think I did actually.
Okay, wait. I want to go to the actual other article first. The Ringer Bringer is from our really great friends, not at all, at Warm Audio. So here's the Ringer Bringer.
I mean, they could be our friends if they wanted to.
I not by doing this, not by making a ring modulator pedal. You're definitely not going to get it into my friends doing this. It looks like you just like squished.
It looks like a pedal.
A little Moogerfooger,
Little
yeah.
pedal.
But yeah, this is the Moog Ringer Bringer.
Okay, cool.
And
It's got a looper.
no,
Looping thing. No,
it's just a ring modulator pedal. It's a clone of the Moog Moogerfooger pedal, and I think that well, actually, how about I shut up? We'll watch the video, and we'll see what they decided is the way they're going to try to market a ring modulator pedal, because I just don't know why this would be the first one. Maybe it's the cheapest to make a ring modulator pedal, but here we go. Introducing the thing that was already out, but you made a clone. Wow, that looks really small in this image, right?
It
This looks like
does.
a little
It looks tiny.
it's
Yeah.
like a Oompa Loompa Moogerfooger.
Oompa Loompa.
All right. I didn't like that ad. That was one of those annoying things.
Like they yeah, they could have yeah, because they're incorporating other things into it that aren't just like the pedal, which can be distracting.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like they got to learn from Arturia how to do a video.
Right. Yeah.
Dang, I don't know who Mark is. Sorry if Mark, if you're like, it's not about you, so I'm not talking about you.
No, shout out to Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't the video has so much going on and I try to like take myself out. I'm hearing delay, I'm hearing like slap delay, I'm hearing a reverb, I'm hearing so much stuff going on that like a brand new person is like, what is this? And I know there's other videos. It
Mm-hmm.
just feels like there could have been just a better I watched Midlife Synthesis video on this. I think he did a really good job of explaining like what he was doing with the ringer bringer and the ways in which it worked super well. I like the
Right. Like
techniques that they don't.
talking more about like the features and stuff because I mean with this ad, it's like great music. You know, it's not about that. Great
Yeah,
video, but it's just like the purpose got kind of lost, which was emphasizing the awesomeness of the ringer bringer.
yeah,
Those
just you know, yeah. No disrespect to Mark. He probably received direction from Warm as what they wanted in the video. I mean, it is on their page and whatnot. And for the love of noise, just give the pedal to Loop Hop and you would get a better demo. I mean,
no, but you know, it's one of those things. It's like it probably wasn't. I don't know. I guess we could be wrong. Imagine like like he directed the whole video. I don't know, but
yeah,
sometimes people just whether it's like a marketing team or not, they kind of want to make a cool video as opposed to like, you know, like okay, what is the focus of this video? How can we like really just dive into the product that we're trying to demo, you know?
exactly. And I think this is the reason why I was saying this. Beat Farm Digital says I don't know if I'm going to ring mod a bunch of tracks, and that's sort of my weird thing about doing a ring modulator as the first pedal. I kind of just it seems just so out of left field to clone. I mean, I'll say this in my opinion, the ring modulator, number one, the ring modulator Moogerfooger is the cheapest Moogerfooger that you can buy by far, meaning it's the most, I guess, available, right? And it's the least, I think it's the least useful in a practical sense in music. So for just them to pick this just seems like, I don't know, it just seems so weird. Try to make my shit shite. It was just a weird video. It seemed to miss the focus. Like my thought is, personality videos, like people, who are more, the content creator people, they're better at doing videos like this that are sort of personality based. This seemed like it was very there's a lot of personality, but then it just felt really unfocused because I don't know what I'm hearing, and I can't
Yeah.
imagine everything was going through the ring the ringer bringer. You know?
If anything, I would say it made me want to check out Mark more than it made me want to check
Yeah,
out
I
the
was like,
Ringer
who's
Bringer.
this guy? So I was like going in.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
I
Mark
want to, yeah, look him up.
Skibila, Sibyl, Sibylia.
Heck
Okay,
yeah, dude.
whatever.
Yeah.
They'll let us know who Mark Sibylia is in the in the chat. I don't know.
And that's a fine line, right? You gotta it could have been the direction from like the marketing team or whatever, but just being very deliberate on the objective of the video is
Yeah.
important.
I mean, okay, put a 1 in the chat if you care.
I love how you ask these things.
I hope Moog isn't watching it. 'Cause I really, one day Moog's gonna come out with like a super subharmonica, and it's gonna be the greatest thing ever. But 0.
Zero. Oh man, that wasn't even an option.
Okay, Synth says
chat.
1.
Okay.
-1.
R.
Yeah.
Is R.
Yeah. Oh, here's
yeah.
something. Analog Wing says Asheville Music Tools have a delay pedal from the same designer as the Fooger delay. Now, see, that's something. Yeah, 0.5. Couldn't get a full 1. 0.5. Okay. What is the next topic, Autumn? Is it Benn or is it the Atoms by Baby Audio?
Oh man, do we have time to talk about the Benn situation? I feel like that one.
Okay, here we go. Vote in the chat now. Just say Atoms or Benn. We can talk about Atoms for 10 minutes, the synthesizer from Baby Audio, or we can talk about Ben Jordan for 10 minutes. Choose now. Ben or, whatever I said.
Everybody wants to talk about Benn. I mean, because that's like a huge thing. And thankfully, I didn't delete Twitter before seeing that story because that was crazy.
That's what made you go.
For those of you that do not know about the story, it says right here, 23 albums nuked overnight with no warning. So yeah, imagine, chat, you have this catalog of music and you're making income from it. This is income that you rely from, and you've worked so hard to build this up and obviously obtain an audience. And then one day you see that all your music is taken off of the... So it's Spotify? Is it other streaming platforms too? Is it just Spotify?
Well, so it was sort of a thing upstream. Benn, now that said, they reached a agreement and they changed their sort of decision. So Benn's music will be going back, but that doesn't take away from sort of the actual importance. I guess that's why we're discussing it. But so TuneCore is the distributor that he goes through, and the distributor is the one who removed his from everything. So they, as a distributor, TuneCore just said, we're no longer doing Ben Jordan, except for a couple albums or whatever. And they just removed it from everything. So it wasn't even Spotify. It wasn't Apple Music. It was
TuneCore.
Yeah, it was TuneCore. So TuneCore has all the power. And first off, Ben makes a jillion times more money than I make, and probably Autumn makes off of music. Like, he makes a very considerable amount of money. And I guess it's not about the money per se. It's about sort of the idea that, and the reason why, let me just say the reason why is because Spotify flagged his streams for being botted.
Yeah.
And that's just a thing that's happening now. I know that Weaver Beats got 2 of his tracks taken down for botting streams, but
yeah, it's kind of like an attack.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. What you said. Trade to Living says apparently Spotify said he was harvesting streams, and yes, I. The weird thing is, this is my thing. I thought that labels like Universal or Warner Music, I thought they admitted to botting streams. And I thought that also Spotify had a thing in place that stated we allow botting of streams, but up to 90% of streams, right? Like this was something like maybe somebody can sort of echo what I'm saying in the chat, but
Yeah, I didn't. I
I
definitely
remember,
didn't know that.
yeah, I remember because here's the thing. There's a whole thing. I think Weaver has a good video that sort of explains it and puts some stuff into, sort of better buckets than I'm putting it into. But I believe the record labels have interest in Spotify, and it's kind of this weird cycle, right? Like if they bought streams and then they get paid for those streams, the botting of the streams is cheaper than what they would be paid out in revenue from, say, Spotify or Apple Music. So it's this weird, like, sick cycle thing. They bought streams for a certain price. They get those streams on Spotify, but then Spotify pays more. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. That is weird.
So, but I guess the big point is, Benn, I would consider a pretty legacy type independent artist, right? He's not signed. He could
Right.
probably get signed to a label if he wanted to, but he's probably like, that's stupid at this point. But it's like that. And I talked about this with some last week. Was I said, I think I have years ago, I had like a lot of fear that my YouTube channel would be like nuked or something for some reason overnight. And I had to like stop that. Like I had to say, I had to sort of, I don't know, maybe therapy, but I went through this acceptance of that. If my YouTube channel gets hacked and destroyed tomorrow, I just don't care. Right. And it's not me trying to say like, I don't care, like, but I actually don't care, like deep inside, like
right. Like it wouldn't affect your standard of living or anything like
my personal feelings about it. It's just a thing. I don't control it. I didn't create it. I don't own it. It's just a thing. But when a ton of your livelihood's coming from it, that's kind of a different thing.
It is. That is so scary. And, thank goodness Benn was able to get it all figured out, like you said, right?
Yeah, I think he's back in control of. He's not technically back in control. He's back with TuneCore. I'm sure there's going to be a whole thing about this, but
yeah, because it got a lot of attention, and that's obviously not good attention. It does not make TuneCore look good. So I would have been very surprised had they not tried to reach out and fix it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that there's. What do you do in 2024, Autumn? What is the alternative? We're all sort of beholden to things that we don't control. The only thing Benn could do is create. He has a website, but I'm just saying he would have to remove his music from everything, meaning discoverability is gone, right? And I think actually discoverability is more important than anything. So he could still just sell on his website, but he would have to like find a way to get discoverability, right? So he'd have to keep making YouTube videos or something. But those aren't really, I get listens to my tracks and stuff because of YouTube, but it's not the same exact thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. That's hard. It might just take a creator, like an actual musician creating something where musicians have more artists have more power over their music. As time has gone on, artists have it's just been like it's kind of been like a 50-50. It's like they have had more power over their music, but at the same time it's like getting devalued.
Yeah. it's a weird place where I think that, selling your CDs on Venice Boardwalk will will actually give you more money than I hate to say this, than most people will ever receive from a thing like Spotify
Yeah,
or
I mean it's
streaming.
so true. It's actually crazy because obviously uh the potential to get your music out has increased, but again, the potential to get money for your plays is like significantly decreased. It's
Yeah.
interesting that way.
I feel like you just have to have such a hardcore following to make it make sense for you, but
Yep.
there's so few people. And also I think maybe, just how do you do it really? Like I'm thinking like, what, you tour? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean that's where there's I haven't read the book, but Andrew's new book.
Mhm.
Shout out to Andrew. Um somebody remind me of the title. Is it like Make Your
Forget.
Own Rules or
Yeah,
something?
something like that.
And well, Andrew talks about how he's been successful to kind of doing his own thing in the music space, and people will talk to him and be like, "Hey, why aren't you, you're so good. Why don't you try producing for other people? Why don't you, produce for these big artists or whatever?" And he's kind of lived the mindset like, "Wait, I'm doing so good doing my own thing in the music space, and you want me to be doing what everybody else is trying to do?"
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like there is this new way to make it in music. I hate that. I kind of hate using that phrase and make it, but like
Yeah.
there's just more opportunities to make a living in that music space that's not traditional.
Yeah, you have to be a different artist entirely. I think it's weird. I guess so. Analog Wing, sorry. He said Ben did a video showing he gets way more money from Bandcamp than Spotify off way less people. And that's
Really
100% true. Super easy to say that.
amazing.
Um, it's just, I mean, that is true. I mean, I said that for myself as well. Um, the Daydream Sound has done this from his own website. Yeah, Daydream Sound is very, very self own platform focused. Absolutely. John says, for most of us, posting on YouTube is a little like trying to dig a tunnel out of Alcatraz with a plastic spork. Nearly impossible, but just enough to keep us trying. And I think you're
Wow.
really right. Like John is, I will always say this: if you have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you're doing well. That's just my personal opinion. Is that, and there's plenty of people in this chat right now who can accept that getting 1,000 subscribers is way harder than it seems. Even though it seems very small, it is difficult.
It's a
And
lot of
yeah,
work. Yeah.
so you know. But anyways, enough of Ben. We're over time, and now Autumn actually has other people to
I actually have a thing that I need to get to.
create food for. So
A bebe.
we are gonna go. But we're
Yeah.
happy
You guys, thanks for hanging out and chit-chatting with us.
Yeah,
All that jazz.
yeah. If you haven't liked the stream on your way out, and we'll be back next week.
Always are.
Okay.